All right, thanks, Ash. Microsoft has found Russian hackers targeting conservative groups ahead of the midterms. Joining us now, General Jack Keane, Fox News strategic military analyst. General, I've read your stuff. You say we should go on offense, attack them with our cyber weapons. You saying that?
Yes, and here's why. I mean, Russia has reset the strategic framework in dealing with the West and the United States in particular. Every single day, Stuart, they're involved in conflict operations. And what I mean by that is intimidation, coercion, massive influence campaigns, comprehensive cyber operations conducted to undermine the West, undermine the United States, to undermine our political systems, to weaken our political and moral will. They're confronting us on every aspect where they see the West or the United States pushing back on them. And they developed a new norm. They consider this all-out conflict, but they want to win this fight without ever having to have a military confrontation with the West. And that is what is so different than what we have dealt with in the past.
Are you now saying that Russia has returned to the status of the Cold War? They are now clearly our enemy, and it's okay to attack. Is that right?
Oh, it's indisputable. I mean, we can use parsed words like competition and others, but they are our strategic adversary. Russia has identified the United States as their #1 strategic adversary in the world, and they blame us for all the problems they have. And that's how they keep their domestic audience sort of fueled with propaganda. But what I'm suggesting is that we've been slow to recognize how massive these campaigns are that Russia and China are doing. It's much more than cyber espionage. It's really weakening our political and moral resolve in Europe and also in the United States as it pertains to Russia. And we've tried sanctions in the past, and we'll continue to try sanctions. But when it comes to Russia, sanctions really don't have much impact. In other words, they continue their same behavior despite the sanctions. Last week, President Trump did something that's truly important. He rescinded an Obama policy directive that inhibited our use of cyber offensive capability. And now President Trump has enhanced our ability to conduct offensive cyber. We have the #1 offensive cyber capability in the world, and we use it very, very reluctantly, and some of that's for good reason. But when these sites, as aggressive as they are, as Microsoft was describing them, and these other sites that have been meddling in our elections, we know where these sites are coming from. We know who they are. We can attack them through our cyber capability and destroy those sites.
General,
and every time,
I just want to get this right. You said when we attack them, attack those sites, you're talking about destroying those sites. How do you mean destroy? They're not blowing them up. What are we doing?
Well, you're destroying a site through cyber offensive capability. They no longer can use their computers, their hard drives, etc. That we destroy it, physically destroy it. We have done some of this in the past, certainly, but we have to do more of it. This is a tool that's available to us, and we have to recognize that we are involved in conflict operations. Russia certainly is committed to it, as is China. This is the new norm, and we've got to use all the tools in our kit bag to push back on them. Yes, publicly humiliate them. Yes, use sanctions to try to impose our will on some of the specific leaders, but also use these tools. After all, it is these tools that they're using on us that are having the impact.
We hear you, General, and coming from a 4-star general, we really hear you. General Jack Keane, thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah,
Good stuff,
good
sir.